I'm Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Ray,
And we are Orderly. So today we want to talk about what people think our job is and what our job actually is as professional organisers in Singapore.
What do you think is the most common misconception people have about our jobs?
I think they normally get their first impressions from, say, watching Netflix, like Marie Kondo or The Home Edit. Right? What was the name of that show again? Do you remember?
Get edited, is it?
I can't remember. Get Organised
Get
with The
organized.
Home Edit.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yeah. And normally we see like these American homes on IG where like Khloe Kardashian's pantry is a very famous one, right? Yeah. Or I can't remember, I think Reese Witherspoon's wardrobe, where everything is like color coordinated, even the products look the same. Or when they stock up, they just stock up on like that one thing, right? And they have a lots of it. That's why everything looks so nice and pretty and picture perfect on Instagram.
Yeah,
right?
I think people also think that we say thank you to our clothes before we let them go. Well, we do not.
We don't. It's not an us thing.
Yeah, it's not an us thing. But of course, through the process of decluttering, we do hope that our clients learn to appreciate what they have and then be more appreciative, of like whatever they have lah. Yeah, but like we don't really have to say thank you to everything.
No, it's just not something that we personally want to do also. But no judgment to those who find it helpful to them.
Yeah,
it's totally fine if that's something that you resonate with and helps you to stay grounded or continue that gratefulness and mindfulness journey. That's also fine. It's just not something that we prefer doing.
And I think like the main thing that perhaps many of our clients or Singaporeans may not realize is that whatever they see on TV and in terms of the size of the house and the size of our homes here is so different, right? The kind of things that we own are quite different also.
Yeah,
because
it's true.
they have 4 seasons. We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like Costco, right, where you can buy in bulk for cheap, which is why I feel they have so many of the same things. In Singapore, we are spoiled for choice. And I think most of us, we kind of try one thing and then we're like, hey, why don't I try this other brand? And then at the same time, in the house, we might have 4 or 5 brands of the same thing or 4 or 5 versions of one thing. And when we put them together in one bin, of course, it doesn't look very nice, right? But the reality is, it works. Like it's helpful. We're gonna use it practicality wise. It's fine. It just doesn't look as pretty as what we see on Instagram. But what works, right? There's no shame in like trying to force yourself to use the same things.
Yeah, or to just buy that particular brand just because you want the colors to be coordinated, right? Yeah, but at the same time, it's also like the reality of the amount of space in terms of storage.
Right.
They have garages, but for us, it's like a tiny storeroom that has just like 3-4 racks, 3-4 shelves.
Pantry.
They have a pantry, but it's not common in Singapore at all.
Not common, yeah. Only the bigger houses that we've done.
Or for like some of our expat clients who are used to the concept of a pantry. If there's space in their homes, we would do it for them, right? But for some of our more local, like HDB condominium clients, then
we don't have the luxury of space, unfortunately.
Yeah, correct.
I think also the emotional aspect of it. We don't say goodbye to our clothes, but to be honest, having all your things laid out in front of you is very emotionally overwhelming, mentally as well. Seeing everything out on the floor, number one, it's very messy, right? And then when things are messy, you can't think, right? You can't get in the headspace to think. And then as a client, it is overwhelming already. But on our part, it's mentally overwhelming. But at the same time, we have to kind of bring ourselves back and say, okay, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do. And then we actually have to do it. So that's one part that's...
Yeah, and the emotional aspect I feel also is what we witness in the client. So like when we take their things out and we lay everything out in front of them, or it could just even be like one very sentimental item, right? And then we witness what the client has to say about it. A lot of times it brings up a lot of like dear
Old feelings,
memories,
yeah.
old feelings, good or bad, right? And then they would just unpack a little core memory, and then
it's like therapy, right? Our job a little bit.
Yeah. So we do make sure that, I mean, after we realize that it's a little bit like therapy, I mean, we are very discerning that we are not therapists, we're not trained.
Definitely.
But we have to be able to hold space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not offer advice, but just hold space, and be non-judgmental.
Exactly, yeah.
With whatever is presented.
Yeah.
And then just be objective about it and guide the client to move on with making whichever decision that feels most comfortable with them. Yeah, but but at times when clients can get quite emotional, I think it may affect us also. So
Yeah.
as a professional organizer, it's like a counselor, like a therapist, they do get affected also. So sometimes I got in the past, I got affected a little bit. Just got to remember to like ground myself and bring myself back, and not like affect the client even more. She cry, I cry, she cry. Oh, so funny. Yeah. And I think perhaps the part that most people don't know about our job is that it's actually very physically demanding.
Oh my goodness, the injuries that we've had. So I have a slip disc from all the heavy lifting. You've sprained your back.
My neck,
Yeah. Oh
2 or 3 times, and it came from a random sneeze on the weekend, but I believe it's from
all the times when we don't use the correct muscles, when we are lifting, and then all these small little things add up into like one injury, right? And then that's why last year we committed to doing Pilates.
Yes.
Yeah.
For a while, it was to also get me back in shape after my second birth, because I had the diastasis recti from the ab separation, right? But then yours was mainly your
Slip disc, yeah, because it was causing me a lot of pain. I couldn't even sleep because the pain was so constant. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the most serious case of slip disc, but it was bad enough that it was affecting job performance, just like sleep in general, and then I couldn't even carry my kids because it was so bad. Yeah.
Right.
But exercise really helps. Yeah.
To strengthen our muscles,
Yeah.
right?
So now we know to use our core whenever we lift things, right?
Deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's something that a lot of clients also, they don't realize, because when they see us climbing up and down, and some of our clients are so appreciative, like, oh, be careful, or like they'll get like their muscular counterparts to come and help us out, right? When it comes to like moving stuff, because we do have to remove things from upper shelves, and also sometimes shift a lot of furniture when we want to reshuffle the layout of the room to just improve the flow, right?
So vertically challenged people like me also sometimes have a problem, right? And then there are times where if I know that this house has a very tall cabinet and I can't reach it, then I have to ask one of our taller staff to come along just so they can reach it for me.
Yeah, correct. But at the same time, I think one more thing that people don't notice or know much about professional organizing is that there's a lot of planning that goes behind the scenes. Yeah. So people think we just move stuff around or take stuff and throw stuff. Yes, but not entirely. Yes, we take things out, we go through, we sort them into categories, and then we declutter. But there's actually a clear process behind that. And then usually what happens after decluttering and after sorting them into categories is that we actually bring all this information back together with the measurements to come up with a plan of what goes where, what products to come in here, how to shuffle the room layout for like maximum flow and efficiency. So a lot of thinking goes into that. So I think it's something that we also did not realize was a core
and
component
we're grateful
of our
now
job,
that
right?
professional organizing has become a bit more popular because now we have so many options
in
right?
terms
Like
of like
products, right? Like Shopee is great, Nitori is great,
Yeah.
Muji is great,
Yes.
IKEA has always been there. But the more options we have, also means the more we are able to cater to like different measurements, because everyone's cabin somehow, like no one has like standard measurements, right? And then what products we choose also depends on what is going to go into that product. So that's why the mental load is quite a lot, like trying to juggle, like thinking about every aspect of, you know, accessibility, what it's going to contain, aesthetics as well, cost.
Cost
And
as
then
well.
when things go out of stock, and I'm like, what do we do now?
Yeah, exactly. So the whole job is not just all physical, right? The mental part that comes along with it while we are at the session is quite a lot also. That's why, which is why I think a lot of us don't realize that the whole act of decluttering and organizing can be quite mentally overwhelming. Yeah. And that if you were to, you know, do it in a more stepwise process, actually it's okay, it's doable. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say?
I think that's it. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop us DMs on Instagram
or comment on
wherever you're watching this.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Or listening to this.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll try to reply, or even drop us an email.
Oh yeah, we're happy to. We've got like people who are like curious about being a professional organizer, drop us emails asking like, oh, what is it you guys do? I want to try it out. I love organizing. So we have to, next time we can just direct them to this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
We can just say, oh, yep, this is the reality of being a professional organizer, right? Yeah. But okay, till next time, we'll chat more. See ya.